Good evening. This is Don Palayo logging in. I just wanted to put out a quick video. It's Friday evening, March 21st. This afternoon, my office, we left a little bit early, went to a local pub or bar, whatever you want to call it. And we're watching some of the NCAA games and just kind of hanging out. It was just kind of a camaraderie event a little bit. Just we got some pizzas at the local pizza place next door, and had I since I had bariatric surgery in October, I haven't had any kind of alcohol or anything like that. I don't really drink very often. It's not something I typically do, but this today I had a 9.5% German lager. It was pretty good actually. Um I haven't historically been a beer person. I've when I have had alcohol, it's typically been, maybe a wine or something like that. Well, I had German lager tonight, and this was the first time I'd had any alcohol since my surgery. And boy, oh boy, I tell you what, man, I got a little bit buzzed, a little bit. I did get home okay, but I got a second can of it because I liked it, but I didn't want to drink much while I was there because I wanted to be able to make sure I got home, and came home and drank the second can, and boy, I took a nap. I slept for about 3 hours, and feeling pretty good though. I have to tell you, I actually enjoyed going and hanging out with everybody, and I don't know. I think that was the best sleep I've had in a while. I took a good 3 hour nap, and I feel pretty good after that. So I think I'm still just a slightly buzzed still, not a lot, but I can still feel it a little bit. Um, I By the way, I'll show you guys. This was the can that I brought home. This is what it's called. It's called Doppelbock, 9.5%. But it was pretty good. I I was thinking about something that after I woke up. I'm conservative. I'm When it comes to, I'm very conservative on traditional issues, as I've told you guys before. But when it comes to economics or fiscal, I am right lean. I'm probably center right. I'm less right wing on the economic issues as I am on the traditional issues. I'm much stronger conservative on social issues. Less so on the right on the economic issues. I There are occasions when I agree with the Democrats on some social things. I could probably even be swayed when it comes to like universal health care and things like that. The way they have that system set up in Europe. I don't like all of it. Um, I want kind of maybe a blend of universal health care with free market mixed in. I don't know if I would want the whole European system exactly the way it is. I think there need to be some free market principles built into it, but I could get on board with the concept of making sure that everybody has access to health care. I just think there needs to be some free market principles mixed into it. Um, so definitely some. I have some room on that side to come over to the Democrat side with that. Um, Also, retirement. I don't like that we went away from pensions. I feel like the pension system was a better model for our country than the 401k system. Originally, when the 401k was created, it was not intended by the creator to completely replace pensions. It was not intended for that. The person that created the 401k system said that it was intended to basically be a third leg for retirement. So you had Social Security, which was one leg. You'd have your pension, which was a second leg. The 401k was basically just to be there to supplement those two programs and to be a third leg of retirement and offer a nice, stable retirement for people. But what has happened is the corporations saw it as a way to replace the pensions. And that's exactly what they did. They used it and replaced the pension. So you only still have two legs, and really it's kind of weaker now because not everyone has access to a 401k or retirement plan at work. And people are having, with the cost of living and everything, people are having a hard time contributing to these retirement plans. So something's going to have to give when it comes to retirement, because starting with my Generation X, we're going to have some problems when it comes to people retiring. I mean, people do get sick and they get old, and then they're going to have to stop working at some point. But I'm afraid there's going to be so many people in my generation that are only going to have Social Security income, and Social Security, especially with the cost of living right now, is not enough. It's just not. So I don't know what's going to happen with Gen X. I do have a retirement plan. I have saved some, but I feel like I'll be okay that I can supplement my Social Security income. Hopefully, Social Security stays solvent and they figure that out, because I won't be able to retire if Social Security is not there. If I don't have my full Social Security benefit, it's going to be hard. I do feel like with Social Security income, I can supplement it from my retirement savings, and then I'll be okay, especially if I have all of my debts paid off. For those of you in Gen X, the critical thing for Gen X is to pay off, have your housing, have a house, have a mobile home, something where you can live in retirement and have it paid off. Have your home paid off, have your cars paid off, have as little debt as possible when you get to retirement. That's going to be crucial for Gen X. I'm really focused on that myself right now. Fortunately, I was able to buy my house at a 3.25% interest rate. So I plan on having this house paid off before I retire. I think one of the things that really bothers me, and I'm seeing this a lot with my job. I can't talk too much about my job, about specifics, specific clients or anything like that. But I can just tell you situationally that I see clients in my line of work, and it's just, there's people out here, and there's it's not a large percentage of the population. And with the clients that we work with, we're working with the top 1%, the 1%ers, right? That's and maybe some 2%ers, maybe the top 2% maybe, but I'm dealing with top 1-2% of people in the country when I with my job. And it's just, these people have so much excess. When you're talking about people that are spending 20, 30,000 a month plus. That's their retirement plan. They're planning on having expenses of 20, 30, 40,000 plus a month in retirement. It's like, come on, it's like, um, I don't know. That just seems so, and that includes some inflation in there. That's, well, actually, no, that gets inflated in our plans. So that's current value, current dollar amount. So I don't know. And it's like you're going to have some people, a lot of people in my generation, where it's going to be like they're going to be trying to live on 3,000 a month, and that's going to be difficult for people to do, at least without having some sort of maybe part-time job or something. I don't know. I just keep looking at it, and I'm like, I see all these people with that have so much, and I know there's so many people out here that are not going to have hardly anything, and they're going to get up into their 70s. They're going to have to be working into their 70s and basically living until they drop. I mean, work until they drop. They're going to until they just die there in their cubicle or at work, whatever. It's like that's the system we have here in the United States right now. There's no I think there does need to be changes when it comes to retirement. Um, I don't know what the answer to that is, because I do believe that there needs to be. Sure, people need to be responsible and think about the future, but we all know how that really goes. A lot of people, a lot of Americans just have enough money just to, pay their day-to-day expenses, just to survive. They don't have extra money to stick aside in a retirement account, or, and it's like, they're just doing just well enough to survive, and they may be on, government assistance to, in terms of their living space. It's just, I don't think having people living off government, is an ideal plan either. I think we really need everyone should have access, and everyone actually does have access to a retirement plan, because anyone can open up an IRA account. If you don't have access to a 401k or other retirement plan through work, please go and open up an IRA. You can open up one for free. There's lots of companies, where you can open up an IRA with very little or no fees. Make sure and just put what you can. I would encourage everyone to have that, even if you're 18 years old and you're working your first job. The earlier you start, the better, the easier it's going to be to save for retirement. So, something is better than nothing. With the IRAs, you're not getting a match. Now, if you have access to an employer plan at work and they offer a match, please do that. Make sure you're getting at least that contributing enough to get that match, because that's free money. You're leaving money on the table if you don't do that. So please get your employer match. But if you don't have access to a retirement plan at work, go open up an IRA or a Roth IRA, depending on your tax bracket. If you're not earning very much, if you're earning 20, 30,000 a year, open up a Roth IRA. I would say a Roth IRA it's much better for people in low income. You're gonna pay the tax bill. You're gonna pay taxes now, but when you go to take money out in the future, all the growth that you have, that you earn, that your investments earn in that Roth IRA, you'll be able to pull that out tax free when you get to retirement. So I would encourage people to do that, to go out and online and read about the IRA and the Roth IRA. Sometimes when you're in the middle income bracket, it can be a little bit kind of a tough call which way, whether to put money in traditional or put money in Roth. Um, I would talk to a financial advisor about that. Sometimes you can access a financial advisor through your financial institution at your bank. Some banks have financial advisors to talk to. I would encourage you to do that. You can also just kind of explore that on your own. They do have some calculators on the internet where you can go online and put in your details, and it'll kind of give you some advice on which way to go that way. Typically, if you're making less, though, I would say if you're making under the 22% tax bracket, then it's typically going to be better for you to be in the Roth. Um, just as a rule of thumb, But everybody's financial situation is unique. Please don't consider this advice. You need to go and talk to a financial advisor on your own, to go over your specific situation, because everybody's situation is a little bit different, and so I can't really tell anyone in this medium, what to do. I do work as a financial advisor. I am licensed as a financial advisor, but I can't give any specific financial advice without knowing a person's specific situation. So, um, it's always important to talk to a financial advisor. Also, you might want to talk to a tax professional in terms of, which one would be better for you. I don't know. I can understand a lot of times the Democrats' position on a lot of the economics, because there are a lot of people out here hurting. There are a lot of people that are struggling financially. And our system here in the United States doesn't seem to really care about those people. It's kind of like, sink or swim, survival of the fittest. It's kind of a brutal system that way. And in Europe, there's a little bit more of a safety net there. Um, you know, it's. I think our system here in the United States is intended to try to motivate people to work hard, and to try to save, and it's intended to try to push people that way, to do better, to encourage them to improve themselves, to work hard, and all of that. But people got to have a life too. It's like we can't just make our whole life about work. It's like we have to have a life outside of that too. I told my friends, we went out today. I texted them this evening, and I said, it just feels like all I'd ever do is work. It's like my whole life is just work. I don't hardly have time to do anything else. It's like, I mean, in terms of socializing, getting to, going out with friends, or doing anything like that. It's like, I just don't have time. I mean, I'm working like all the time now. All the waking hours, it's like I sleep and I work. That's basically my life, the way it is right now. I do go spend a few hours with my parents every Sunday morning, but that's basically it. Other than that, it's either sleeping or I'm working, and that's no life. So I think we do need some changes, when it comes to healthcare. I think we need some changes where it comes to retirement, in our country. So I feel like this is where the Democrats go wrong. The Democrats are trying to win elections, talking about abortion and talking about, some of these social issues. And it's like so many. It's like they need to shut up about the social issues. I mean, Democrats, stop talking about the social issues, because I'm telling you, I'm being honest with you guys. If y'all focused on your economic message, I honestly feel like that's a better platform for you guys to focus in on than all this other stuff. Because when y'all start getting on this conversation about abortion and LGBTQ and all this stuff, it loses people. You're losing people talking about that. Focus on the economics, because that's a much better position for you guys. I think you could convince some people on the right to come closer your way with that. I think the universal health care, I do feel like there needs to be a blend there. I don't like the pure universal healthcare system, just because I think it could easily be abused here in the I think it would be abused here in the United States. I understand in Europe is it's a different place than it is here in America. That system would cost, universal healthcare would be so expensive here in the United States, because I think there would just be people just constantly abusing it. Just they'd be up in the emergency room every time they got a sniffle. They'd be in the emergency room. And I just know how that would go here in the United States. So I think there does need to be a blend of with have a hybrid universal health care. When I say universal health care, make sure that everyone has access to a doctor to be able to go without worrying about bankrupting themselves. Everyone should be able to get treated if they're sick. But there needs to be some free market, blended into that system. I don't have exactly what that would look like, but I do believe it needs to be a hybrid between free market and universal health care system here in the United States. And I think retirement needs to be fixed. I think every employee should have access to a retirement plan through work, and maybe even have it be automated, where it's they're automatically enrolled when they come on board. I don't like the thing about it being them having to wait a year to join the retirement plan. Immediate access to a retirement plan, immediate contributions being made from their pay. So I would say that as soon as they begin working, a certain contribution amount is being deducted from their pay, and that being matched by the employer, say 3%. So automatic enrollment, automatic 3% is deducted from the employee's pay to go into that account. The employer matches that 3%. So that's 6% of the employee's pay is going into that account. So every year, if you make $50,000 a year, you've got $3,000 a year going into that investment account, and that will grow over the years. And you can always contribute more, but that at least is going in there. And over the course of a 40-year career, you can have a substantial amount of money at the end. My fear is that corporations, companies, the free market, it wants people to work until they can't work anymore. And then they just discard them, and they're not concerned about the people's welfare who cares? What skin is it off the corporations' back if these people can't survive? Who cares? And that's the American system right now, and that's the message the Democrats need to have. I think, you know, now this is something that Democrats don't like, Republicans like, Democrats don't like. Social Security, right? I don't know how I'm a big proponent of private Social Security accounts where the money that we put into Social Security goes into an account. We can give people choices on how those funds are invested, because right now the way it works is we're paying Social Security tax. It's not going into our own account. It's going to pay current benefits of people receiving Social Security. But I think there needs to be a transition with Social Security, probably with the newer, younger workers, where instead of going to pay current benefits for current people, that's going to be going into their own private account, at least a portion, and they can choose how to invest those funds. And I think it's just important there's a couple of things that need to happen with Social Security, but this is one of them. I think there needs to be some investment within that system to help it last longer, because the way it is right now, I think they put those Social Security funds, any excess Social Security funds, into government treasuries and things like that don't earn anything. I think that there needs to be some investment decisions there, that investment choices open to the employees or to workers. That's a Republican idea. Democrats hate it. So I think some of the Republican ideas are good. I think some of the Democrat ideas are good, and we just need to be able to blend them. Americans are hurting right now. There's a lot of Americans that just are really worried about the future, about how they're going to survive in retirement when they get to that point. They're worried about how they're going to survive now too. In terms of the cost of living and everything, there needs to be some more work done in that area too. But in the meantime, I really do feel like there needs to be some changes to both our healthcare system as well as our retirement system here. And I'd be willing to, as a free market person myself, I am open to some of these more, some of the positions on the Democrat side. So I guess you would say I'm kind of in the center on that, probably pretty close to the center, really. Anyway, I am still feeling a little bit of effects from my day out, so I'm probably gonna take it easy, go get get some water. I just woke up a little bit ago, so you guys have a great evening, have a great weekend, stay safe out there, and I will talk to you again soon.